Yo, what's up guys, Gaming Magic 13 here, and welcome back to the 100% walkthrough for LEGO Batman the video game. Today I'll be playing through the second level of the Joker's Return, little fun at the big top, and picking up the superhero achievement along the way. Once you make noise in this area, henchmen and goons are going to jump down from the roofs and start to attack you. Throw a batarang at the two henchmen that are going to take up point with their guns, and then Robin should engage the others, allowing you to easily mop them up with some punches. And then once you're done with that wave, another wave of henchmen and goons are going to drop down from the next roof. Once more, this is nothing you haven't done a million times already. Once you start breaking stuff towards the exit gate, a bunch of henchmen are going to float down from the sky. And they're all going to have guns, as is usually the case. So just punch them all until they die, because remember, once you get into a henchman's face, it will put its gun down. Since they're all pretty clustered, you really won't have to worry about the fire from another one. Except for this guy. This guy was giving me problems until he put his gun away for no apparent reason other than to give chase. So then I just turned around and smacked him. I don't really know why he put away his gun. Usually they don't do that unless you're right up in their face. But another thing is that these guys are actually infinitely respawning if you just stay here. So, if you're in this area, you're going to have to deal with more waves of henchmen just floating down from the ceiling or just teleporting out of thin air. But if you move quickly, you should be able to avoid most of the waves. You'll find some extra studs on top of the rooftop, so construct these little Lego pieces into a ladder. When you climb up the ladder and jump across these rooftops, you'll find some stray studs here. We are going to come back here later with the demolition suit to blow those open, so don't worry about that. But something I've found is that jumping across the final rooftop to get to the other side is very challenging without the glide suit. I think I've done it maybe once before, but I didn't do it in this run, so unfortunately I cannot effectively demonstrate. But of course, it's not necessary to grab superhero because I was able to do it just fine without crossing the gap. Now I'm just looking for any stray studs around the area before I move on with the rest of the level. But I will take the opportunity to explain these things. They're essentially glorified jack-in-the-boxes. You're going to approach one of these boxes, a Joker thing's going to pop out of it, and that's it. It may shoot you a few times, but they're not a threat. You just punch the box and it'll instantly be destroyed. So you shouldn't be caught off guard by those things. That said, if you let it stay in the area for too long, it may cause you some problems. But so long as you take it out quickly, it really shouldn't be that big of a problem. Something a lot of people miss on their playthroughs that I've noticed is this thing right here. It looks innocent enough, but a key to getting superhero is to jump inside this thing, rock back and forth a little bit, and once your ride has come to a conclusion, a bunch of studs are going to pop up from the bottom. There's going to be another one of these things a little bit later on, and these are very important to helping you achieve the superhero of 68,000. Once you're satisfied with your stud count, I like to leave this area with around 20,000 studs. Reassemble these shiny pieces into 2 objects which can be easily destroyed with the demolition suit. Speaking of the demolition suit, bust open this barricade and then step inside the building and you will find a horde of henchmen ready to gun you down, so just punch them as they rush you out the door and you'll have no problem. And then within the building you will find your demolition suit. Now, before you move on, be sure to bust open any of these metal objects with the demolition suit for extra studs, and then once you're ready to go, blow open those 2 objects by the gates, and that will grant you access to the next area. Told you we'd be coming back here with the demolition suit. Once you start making noise in this room, you're going to attract the attention of a horde of goons and henchmen. Push through the goons as quick as you can so you can get to the henchmen before their guns can do any serious damage. Moving into this back right corner is going to spawn in 2 waves of enemies, one hiding around the corner consisting of goons and henchmen, and then another round of henchmen that are floating down from the ceiling like Pennywise. Now what I was trying to do there was wait for the first wave I mentioned to come around the corner and battering them, but then Robin stepped into the battle and attracted both waves onto themselves, so I had to go bail him out with the battering I was going to use earlier. But again, it's all just basic henchmen and goon combat, and at this point, I really shouldn't even have to say any of this stuff. But once all waves of enemies are down, you can now equip the Sonic suit. I'm actually not going to use this in this area first. I'm going to retreat back to the first area after getting a few studs, because if you remember, there are actually some windows that I can break open requiring the Sonic suit. And while I don't really need to go back and break those windows, since I'll end up with 5,000 more studs in the superhero amount anyway, every little bit helps. This is another one of those rides that will give you a bunch of studs. And because of the infinitely respawning henchmen, you will be greeted by a wave as you come out of these gates, if you decide to go back and break the Sonic windows. But whether or not you broke the sonic windows, it's time to move on with the rest of the level. So we'll reassemble these pieces into a revolver and push against the green side in order to make a magnet wall come out from the ground. Now, of course, this is useless because we don't yet have a magnet suit for Robin. Well, we can fix that because now we have Batman's sonic suit to break open the actual sonic windows in this area. So, bust your way into this little room right here where there's going to be a bunch of henchmen inside. You can battering them as they come out the door. And as you can see, that's highly effective. And then I just threw the other ones over my shoulder. So then once you step inside, you can reassemble these pieces into a Robin suit swapper. As Robin, equip the magnet suit. Ascend the magnet wall as Robin and then construct a grapple hook so that Batman can join you. As soon as you hit the ground, you will trigger another wave of henchmen to spawn in, so charge them down and get rid of them before the guns can do any serious damage. I sometimes question why I even have to say this anymore. If you hang around the teacups area for a while, you're going to see a horde of goons rush from the top left-hand corner. They're goons. They're not that big of a threat. Just punch them down and use batarangs. Now you'll see over here that there is a civilian in danger. I'm going to kill most but not all of these goons. Why? Because of the free play videos. There's no incentive for you to not kill all of those people because it'll save you work for when you go back to play free play. But for me, I'm saving everything for the free play videos, so it does not benefit me to take them all out now. Moving forward, as soon as you break open one of these windows, a horde of henchmen will come out the door, so just be ready for them and don't be caught off guard. Once the henchmen are down, you can bust open these sonic windows over here. This demonstration of taking out a Jack-in-the-Box is not an accurate representation of how difficult they are to take down. I got really unlucky when I punched that Jack-in-the-Box. For some reason, it pinged off of the attract suit collector and then just kind of floated to the ground. I don't know why it didn't take it out in one shot. Anyway, you'll find some high-value studs in that corner over by the attract suit collector. And then as far as getting the actual attract suit itself, bust open these tables and chairs and then assemble the pieces into a Robin suit swapper. And then equip the attract suit. As is usually the case, you need 25 Lego pieces in order to make the ladder for the next area appear. So just go around as Robin and collect all of the little Lego pieces until you have 25. There's plenty around the area. Once you have 25 or more, deposit them all into the machine, and then it will make a ladder. Once the ladder is constructed, climb up the ladder as either character, doesn't really matter which. You're going to find some studs inside this window right here, and then once you're ready to move on, just head up the staircase and move through the building, and into the next area. On the other side, you will almost immediately be greeted by a bunch of goons and henchmen, but again, no big deal. Battering, punch, kick, done. And here we encounter another wave of infinitely respawning henchmen that float down from the sky. No big deal, just a few batterings, punches, and kicks should take them out no problem. You'll notice that there is another jack-in-the-box in the corner over there, but again, they're even less dangerous than the goons, so just walk up to them, punch it, and it's done. But once the wave is cleared, for now at least, you'll see they're already starting to pop back in. But in the small amount of time in which you have a gap, reassemble these pieces into a revolver, and then once again push against the green side in order to open up the gate. Okay, this boss fight is boring. The only thing you have to do is to run around in a circle and chase Harley Quinn until she gets tired of backflipping. That's it. Run around in a circle, wait for her to get dizzy like that. Punch her once, she'll jump halfway across the room, and then I recommend taking a little break after the first punch to get these studs up here, but after that, it's just run around in a circle and punch her when she starts to get dizzy. There's no trick to this, there's no fun factor to this, it's just run around in a circle, and maybe you'll have to deal with the occasional jack-in-the-box or wave of not infinitely respawning, but a wave of henchmen that descend from the ceiling. But in general, it's the same base mechanic of running around in a circle. So, there's really not much fun to be had here, it's just tedious as all heck. But that's the way it is, unfortunately, so just run around in a circle and punch her until she gets tired of you. After she loses 4 hearts, a wave of henchmen will descend from the ceiling, so just use a battering to take out most of them and punch the ones that survive. And then it's right back to running around in circles. Alright, and that's going to do it for this episode of the Lego Batman the Video Game 100% walkthrough. So, I would like to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, and until then, this has been a Game Magic 13. Signing off, saying I hope you have a fantastic Oracle day, and I will catch you next time where we're going to be tackling the third level of the Joker's Return, Flight of the Bat. Goodbye!